things, but underneath all of that is the Bible. I am unapologetically 100% in favor of it, is the Bible. Jesus is the Word. There is no delineation. If the Bible says it, that's what Jesus is, and that's what Jesus believes. That's what this podcast is actually about, is to actually alert people to what is coming and what is our responsibility in the midst of it.
Welcome to the Tom Laipply Podcast, night 3 of the producer Aaron takeover. Well, I want to congratulate everybody. First off, thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure that you get your Rumble rants in early just so that we don't run out of time at the end of the show. But I want to congratulate everybody in the studio audience here with me and everybody watching. We're on day 25 of the Iran war, which unfortunately we have to cover again tonight because there's new stuff. Yeah, so as you just heard, I thought it would be funny to change the intro song just for tonight. A little Who, Won't Get Fooled Again. First of all, I love that song. Second of all, the words for this situation is actually hilarious, saying that we won't get fooled again. Well, we've been fooled again because now we basically have George W. Bush 2.0. And I'm going to prove that here with this next video in a second. I also, as a really funny, it's a joke, but the lyrics in there say, here's the new boss, same as the old boss. And I put new boss, I put a picture of me, a video of me, and then old boss was Tom. That's a joke. He's coming back, obviously. I think I'm hoping that this will be the last night that I'm covering because he should be back tomorrow. I'm hoping so. But anyways, I just thought that was really funny. But yeah, so we're gonna get into this this Iran situation. It's you kind of gotta laugh at stupidity sometimes, because if you don't laugh, you're either gonna get really pissed or you're gonna cry.
Or you drink.
And we're Christians, so we don't do that.
Yeah,
so
we can't do that.
We can't do that. We're not gonna drink. I'm drinking a nos. But yeah, you can't drink, so. Yeah, you just got to laugh. You got to make fun of stupidity. And that's kind of what we're going to do with this next clip. It's a long clip. I'm not going to play the whole clip. It's like 8 minutes long. I'm not going to make you suffer through 8 minutes of this. But we're going to start it, and I'm going to have us, we're going to pause back and forth, and we're just going to comment on some of the stuff that we hear. Go ahead and play that clip for me.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
The threat comes from Iraq. It arises directly from the Iraqi regime's own actions, its history of aggression, and its drive toward an arsenal of terror.
Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. This terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon.
Saddam Hussein is a homicidal dictator who is addicted to weapons of mass destruction.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
There can be no peace if our security depends on the will and whims of a ruthless and aggressive dictator.
And they are indeed sick and sinister.
The Iraqi regime was required to destroy its weapons of mass destruction.
Doesn't that sound eerily similar? Isn't that the same thing? It's crazy because it's for me, I was a kid when we went to war with Iraq, which is crazy because it ended up lasting close to 20 years. It was supposed to be the same kind of, we were supposed to go in, get rid of their weapons of mass destruction that never existed, And what's crazy to me is how do you go from, Donald Trump says when he was running the first time, because he was running against Jeb Bush, so he got to use this as cannon fodder to mock Jeb and George. How do you go from being so anti-Iraq war? We should have never been there. It was all lies. And then we're doing the same thing.
He probably doesn't care about getting mocked later because he's going to be how old is he now? I mean,
yeah, I don't even remember 78, something like that. Yeah, and here's the thing. I said this the other night. I can't remember who I was talking to about it. But I'm it almost feels like Donald Trump is trying to destroy whatever is left of MAGA so that nobody else can carry the torch because it has to die with him.
It's his, man. No one else can take that.
No, I know. I'm because now we're seeing things where J.D. Vance is saying that he's possibly not going to look to run to be president because of family stuff. I'm is it really family stuff or is it because you have no chance?
Yeah. I think you knew what you were getting into, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm I don't know. It's just crazy because, again, I remember watching as a kid. 'Cause I was a weird kid. Thomas talked about this before. I was weirdly involved with politics at a very young age. I remember watching Alex Jones. I don't know. I was probably 11, 12 when I started watching Alex Jones. And I remember watching on the news, us bombing Iraq and all this stuff. And I was a kid and I'm just thinking there's no way that this is a good thing. Anybody who thinks war is good, you're a psychopath. You're Lindsey Graham. I mean, people are dying. And it's just the same narrative. So anyways, let's play a couple more of those and we'll move on. Go ahead and hit it.
Cease all development of such weapons and to stop all support for terrorist groups. The Iraqi regime has violated all of those obligations.
Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location, but they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons.
The evidence indicates that Iraq is reconstituting its nuclear weapons program.
We warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons.
Satellite photographs reveal that Iraq is rebuilding facilities at sites that have been part of its nuclear program in the past.
We saw
Again, I don't understand. I'm so confused because here's the thing is, we will say that Iran has no capabilities and they're a backwoods country with they're just they're third world. That's just, they don't even have anything. But then we completely obliterate all of their nuclear facilities at Fordo in June or July of last year. And now all of a sudden it's a threat again. It's they're too stupid to make a nuclear program. But now they finally, after 40-something years of Netanyahu claiming that it's 2 weeks away, finally they actually got their nuclear program. And then we've totally obliterated it. It's all gone now. Everything is fixed. We can move on. And now we're at war with them again because they started doing it. They ignored our warnings. And now they're making bombs again. We have to kill them with our bombs.
So is he admitting that the whole Fordo strike was kind of didn't work?
Well,
because I thought it was the greatest strike in world history.
Yeah, and again, to your point, the White House's word was totally obliterated.
Yeah.
Okay, but Trump can't admit when he's wrong if he was wrong. So again, this is where it gets confusing. Where is the lie? Did we obliterate their nuclear capabilities, if they had any? Or did we not? Did he lie then and say we obliterated it when there clearly was more that should have been bombed? Which, again, I disagreed with the first one, but here we are. Or did we obliterate it and now we're lying now and we were going in because we wanted to do regime change? We're going in so that we can support the people of Iran to rise up, stand against the Ayatollah Khomeini. Khomeini was the first one that was in the 70s. But Khomeini, stand up against the Ayatollah and take their country back. You know what happened when we killed Khomeini, Ali Khomeini? The people stood up and were actually chanting more death to America. There were mass protests in the street going against Israel and America. So that backfired already.
Well, yeah, you always have to ask, like, why? I feel like people just believe, like, oh, in Iran, they chant death to America, and they don't ask
for no reason.
Well, if they don't ask why, it's like, why would one country just innately hate another country across the world? Oh, it's because they hate our freedoms. That, like, what? They were just fine before we started bombing them.
I know, and here's the thing again. It's like we're not coming to the defense of Iran, people.
No.
Like, Iran is a stupid country, and they've got, like, stupid people in leadership. Now, the people of Iran, there are stupid people there, and there are smart people there. There are innocent people, and there are evil people there. Just like every country, just like in America. Okay, there's no difference, really, between countries. You have difference in leadership in different countries. But, like, you have to, like Joe just said, you have to ask why. Why do they chant death to America? Why do they chant death to Israel? Well, I don't know. Let's look back through history. Let's look at 1948, when the UN decided that this landmass, which was called Palestine, was going to be now the new home of the Jews, and it's going to be Israel. And so we're going to go through, and we're going to kick everybody out who lived there because, yes, shocking, there were people who lived there. So we kicked them all out of their homes, displaced all of those Palestinian people, moved them into surrounding countries, and put the Jews there, and then they had to go to war with it. America backed that war, so then these countries hate America for backing that war on behalf of Israel after displacing all the people who live there. Then you have what happened in the 70s with them taking hostages. Okay, like, there's history here. It's not just some random thing where it's just like, oh, well, they've just always hated us, and they've just always hated Israel, and it just is what it is, and so we got to kill them all because, they're just evil people, and they're pursuing weapons of mass destruction. That's not real life, okay? Again, I played the clip on, I think it was on Thursday, of Ron Paul talking about blowback and all that kind of stuff in these kind of situations, okay? You cannot expect to bomb a country. For example, just recently, June or July of last year, bombing Iran and then just being like, oh, yeah, that wasn't an act of war. That was a combat military operation. And, they're just going to be okay with it because, we're America and we're the biggest, baddest people, and so they can't do anything about it. Well, they're doing stuff about it. Go to the first picture there that I've got. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so the White House puts this out, no games, and it's a picture of Trump looking all, like, bad and stuff. And I'm going to show you two videos. I might not play them all the way through, but they are actually very entertaining. They were released by Iran. They did really good making these videos. They're, like, clowning on Donald Trump. He says no games. Well, to them, it is like a game. So play the first one. Okay, so they literally made a video of, like, Lego Donald Trump and stuff. Okay, if you're, like, panicking and your country is under attack, do you think you're making, like, Lego propaganda? They're, like, clowning on us. It's crazy. I have another video that funny enough, when Joe and I were going over the show, he said, and it's so true, this next video that they made literally looks like a mobile ad, like a
mobile
games ad. Like what you pop up, it's like Candy Crush, like those kind of like ads and stuff. Go ahead and play it for me. Okay, again, it's like a game to them. I mean, Donald Trump can put up his, no games post all he wants and try to look like Billy Bad Butt, but like to them, it literally is a game. And we can say that we're winning. They say that they're winning. Again, whose propaganda do you believe? I don't believe anybody's propaganda. I don't buy any of it. I think in a lot of ways we're losing in certain ways, and in a lot of ways they're losing in certain ways. It just depends on what you're talking about. But to act like, oh, well, we're winning and we've completely obliterated them and destroyed them and the country doesn't exist anymore. Okay, well, you said that in June or July about their nuclear facilities and stuff. But here we are again.
Yeah, for a country that's destroyed, they're cranking out some good videos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you'd think that if they were completely destroyed and annihilated, then they have no military and no government and stuff. Okay, would they be like pumping out videos like that, clowning on us? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. But you know what? What isn't a game, though? What isn't a game is the actual people who are going over, fighting, and dying because of what? What's the purpose? What's the reason? We have Will, who does producing with us, on the podcast, and he went and fought in Iraq. For what? Thank God he survived. But like, for what? What was the purpose? There's a lot of people who didn't survive. Again, for what? How did that work out for us? How's Iraq? Are we like buddies now? Do we trade? Is the world safer now that Saddam Hussein has been killed?
Worse.
The area is absolutely more unstable now because of the fact that we went in there. Leave these people alone. If they want to have a stupid Ayatollah and some Muslim-ran government and stuff, okay, enjoy that. Good luck. If you're the people of North Korea and you want to worship Kim Jong-un, enjoy that. All power to you. Okay? If you want to rise up, freaking rise up. But why do we have to be involved with it? We rose up against the British, and only when we rose up did other people come in and support us, like France. That was the only time they really supported us because they've never really been much of an ally since then. But again, I'm just like, this is just crazy. But again, just setting up for the next video. You know what isn't a game? Is the people who lost their lives, and we're up to 13 now. Okay, we've been up to 13 for I think the last 10 days or so. We had 6 to 7 deaths from retaliatory strikes, and then we had 6 more die in a refueling aircraft that crashed in Iraq. Okay, again, that wouldn't have happened if they weren't there. Did Iran shoot it down? They claim that they did. Of course, our government is saying they didn't, and that it was like a malfunction of some sort. Either way, it doesn't matter. They wouldn't have been there to begin with. It's like saying that, oh, well, Americans rape and kill people too, so the fact that illegals are crossing the border and raping and killing people, it would have happened anyways. No, actually it wouldn't. Laken Riley would still be alive. What happened to her wouldn't have happened if illegals weren't pouring into our country and raping and killing people. Are there going to be rapes and murders? Yeah, of course there are. Because again, unfortunately, we're in a fallen world. But It doesn't mean that we have to like import extra. It's the same thing with this. These people would still be alive today. I've got two for you actually. Play the first one for me.
Already gave you the time and the place, so don't be shy. Just come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give. I want it. I kinda like it when you call me wonderful. Whatever the type of talking. I can't save us. My Atlantis reef.
Again, I because of the fact I have always been emotionally drawn to things like that where somebody loses their life and their kids don't have a dad anymore. But now that I actually have a son, and I see that first video was an airman from Alabama who died, and his kids don't have a dad anymore. The second video was a soldier from Kentucky. He saw his parents there weeping over their son who died. They don't have their son anymore. Parents aren't supposed to bury their kids. And little kids that are like, you know, from the ages of, I don't know, 1 to 6 years old shouldn't not have their dad anymore because of this stupidity. I'm sorry, but it pisses me off when I see videos like that, because what a freaking waste of life. And it's always the best kind of people, too. It's the people that are willing to die for their country, and they're not dying for our country. They're dying for Israel. They're dying for whatever kind of propaganda has been fed into our country to where we're like, yeah, let's go to war. Let's go kill people. Turn Iran into a parking lot. That's what was said with Gaza. Turn it into glass. Okay, again, it's innocent people. I have to relax. Because, again, it's all a freaking waste. It's all because of the love of money. It's all because of the military-industrial complex. It's also that Honeywell and Raytheon and all these other companies can make money off of bombs. Don't worry about the American public. Don't worry about us here at home. Don't worry about gas prices. Don't worry about the economy. Don't worry about the border wall. Don't worry about, locking people up for Epstein, which nobody's been charged for that. Don't worry about, again, I thought, Hillary Clinton was supposed to be in jail. What happened with the auto pen stuff? All of these things have been dropped. Jim Comey, FBI, doing the whole, Russia. Okay, he's free. All of this stuff like that we were like, yeah, we're going to fight back. No, actually, we're going to go fight in Iran. Put up the next one for me. Iran ballistic missile. With this setup of this next part of the show, I'm putting these in order in which they happened. It's going to seem and sound disjointed, and that's because it is. So, Iran ballistic missile hits Israel city in terrifying strike near top secret facility that is key to country's atomic weapons program. Okay, pause. Is Israel supposed to have nukes?
No.
They're not a part of the nuclear proliferation treaty because they're not supposed to have nukes. They've denied having nukes for forever. But then Iran just shoots off missiles and hits the city in which Israel's atomic weapons program is. Well, that's confusing. I thought they didn't have nukes. Again, people have been saying for decades they don't have nukes. One of the things that could be, asterisks there, could be involved with JFK's assassination is the fact that he knew that they were working on trying to get nukes. This is true, whether it's tied to his assassination or not, have your own opinion there. But knew that they were trying to get nukes and wanted them to stop doing that. And if they were going to get nukes, they needed to be on the Proliferation Treaty. Okay, well, shortly after that is when he got assassinated. It's pretty weird. But yeah, Iran struck the city where their atomic weapons program is. So that's interesting. The next two are videos. We're just going to go ahead and play them side by side with me. You can leave the audio on. This is that strike.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Go to the next one too. All right. So again, I thought we wiped them out. I thought they don't have a military anymore. I thought they had nothing going for them anymore. Apparently not. Apparently they're still striking. People are saying, "Oh, they're actually just striking random places. They're just, killing innocent civilians left and right." Doesn't look like it to me. They struck the city where their atomic weapons program is. That seems pretty calculated to me. Seems like they're still able to go against us in this war. I thought it was going to be over in a week, 2 weeks. We're on day 25. Then it was moved to September. Then you have Pete Hegseth say we need $200 billion more to continue.
Sounds like 15 days to flatten the curve, right?
Correct. Which I'm glad you brought that up because I have a slide on that. It's like the same agenda. It's the same thing. There's no difference between COVID and this. If you denied COVID and didn't wear your mask and didn't social distance and do all that, you had people that were Trumpers, MAGA people, and they were yelling at you to get your mask on because, well, Trump said the vaccines were good. Okay, well, we found out how well that went over.
Yeah,
how long
is getting his?
How long do you think it's going to take for us to realize that this whole thing was a mistake? Do you think it'll take as long? 3 years? Do you think? Do you think it'll be quicker?
I don't know if they'll ever realize.
No,
Well,
I'm with you. Like, I don't think they will either. It's just like you still have the people out there that think COVID was the end all be all for this whole world.
But to be fair, though, a lot of the MAGA conservative Republicans and stuff are like, yeah, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done it and stuff. But again, Donald Trump just got his most recent COVID vax.
Yeah, exactly.
So did he change? No. He just stopped talking about it because he realized, ooh, pretty unpopular. Yeah. Yeah, somebody, Tim L. T-Bird in the chat, 15 days to flatten Iran. Yeah, that's good.
That's what it is.
Yeah, 100%. Put up the next one. So we're going to go into this, and again, this is it's going to be a little disjointed, and it's supposed to be. On March 20th, President Donald J. Trump states that the United States doesn't use or need the Strait of Hormuz. Quote, "We don't use the strait. We don't need it. We don't use it. We don't need it." The following day, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. And he's just started doing this for this term, and I don't know why, but thank you for your attention to this matter. It's so pissy. It's such I don't know, it's such a petty girl thing.
It's because his tweets are not presidential at all,
yeah,
with all the all caps and spelling mistakes. So at the end, you gotta church it up.
Yeah, you gotta church it up. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta sound like you're in charge.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, it's so bad. Okay, so then go to the next one because this is Iran's. Okay, so I just read that, but that's the full. So you can take a screenshot if you'd like. Go to the next one after that. This is their response. Following previous warnings, if Iran's fuel and energy infrastructure is attacked by the enemy, all energy, information technology, and desalinization infrastructures belonging to the United States and the regime, and they're calling us the regime, that's their terminology there, in the region will be targeted. Okay, well, I want to just break this down for you real quick. There's not a lot of water in the desert. So what we have over there, and it's not just us, obviously, it's every country that's over there. It's Saudi Arabia, it's Qatar, it's Kuwait, it's all these different countries. They have desalinization plants, and that's to get salt out of the water from either the ocean or the sea so that they can drink it. So that's how they make drinking water over there. Like, we have plenty of fresh water that we can drink from. They have to desalinize it. Okay, well, we have desalinization infrastructures where, like, our bases are all over the Middle East. So they're saying they're going to wipe out our energy stuff in our bases, our IT, which would be any type of, I mean, basically even energy is run off of tech. It's all ran off of IT. I mean, if we got hacked, for example, if the United States got hacked, they could control our traffic lights, our power, our whole grid. It's all it's in the cloud, basically. So you can hack that. Okay, well, they're just going to bomb it. They're just going to bomb all of our energy, our IT stuff, our desalinization structures. So we wouldn't be able to operate in the region if they did all that. Okay, go to the next one. So then, this is Sunday. So it was, I think it was the 21st, so Saturday, when Trump said, we're going to, destroy them, whatever, in the next 48 hours if they don't open the strait. Well, then on Sunday, he goes, now with the death of Iran, the greatest enemy America has is the radical left. Highly incompetent Democrat Party. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, so wait. So Iran's completely, it's over. The war is over. So he said if they don't open the strait in 48 hours, then we're going to obliterate their energy infrastructure. And then the next day he goes, well, now that the country is over, the death of Iran, now we just have to focus on the Democrats.
It seems like he maybe said that because the war, I'm calling it a war now.
Yeah, it is a war. It's not a combat operation. We're on day 25 of a war.
Like, it's statistically pretty unpopular with the American public. It's like, what is it, 20-something percent?
27% approval rating.
So it's kind of like, oh no, both parties are agreeing that this is unpopular.
Right.
So, hey, Iran is dead, everyone.
Yeah,
now
focus on the Democrats.
Now we can go back to battling the Democrats.
Yes, focus on the libtards. Focus on the Democrats. Don't we're not going to talk about Iran because they're already dead. It's already gone. All right, go to the next one. This is the 23rd, so which is today, right? Yeah, the 23rd.
Yeah.
So this is today at 6 a.m. I'm pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, he spelled which wrong as well, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, this reminds me, and I don't know, again, a lot of people have like short-term memory loss, I guess, but this reminds me of the tariff situation. We threatened to tariff certain countries if they don't agree to XYZ trading policies that we want to implement. And we say, we're going to tariff them 25%. And they're like, pound sand, we're not doing that. And then Trump's like, we've extended the tariff break for 30 days while we undergo negotiations. Bro, you like folded though. They just like called your bluff. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, actually, I'm extending it 30 days. He says we're going to bomb the crap out of all their power stuff in the next 48 hours if they don't open the strait. The strait's still not open, but now it's, we're going to wait. We're going to do a 5-day pause because we've had talks, and they're productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution to our hostilities. So it's like, man, it sounds like the war is wrapping up then. Go to the next one. Just in, Iranian foreign minister says there are no talks with the United States, claims President Trump's statements are an attempt to lower energy prices and buy time for military plans. Again, here's the thing. You can be like, oh, well, Aaron, it sounds like you're calling our president a liar and you're believing Iran. No, I don't believe anybody. I think they're both liars. But again, you can have Trump say the war is almost over. And by the way, I have a slide for this, but every time he says that, stock prices go up because obviously the market doesn't want a war. They want everything to be just vanilla. Everything's chill. We can buy and sell. We can trade our stuff. Everything's good. They don't like the boat rocking, okay? So then he says, the war is almost over. Stock prices soar. Everything's great. We add like $2 trillion into the economy. And then Iran comes out and says, actually, there's no talks. We're not talking with them. Trump is just trying to say that so he can buy time because we're not budging. And right after that comes out, stocks plunge $1 trillion. Okay, so it's like it's a freaking game, guys. It's all a game. And I refuse to play the game. So I'm going to call BS on both sides. I think they're both lying. Go to the next one. Just in, so this is, we went to today, and now this is back to the 21st, which was after he said that we're going to bomb them in 48 hours. Trump reportedly planning for peace talks that would pause Iran's missile program for 5 years and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Again, so we have... If they don't open the strait in 48 hours, we're going to bomb their energy. Then they say, well, if you bomb our energy, we're going to bomb all of your bases, essentially, and all of your desalination, all of your energy, all of any of your stuff in the region. And then we go, oh, well, actually, we had really good productive talks, and we're going to just pause for 5 days because we're negotiating. And then we've got, oh, yeah, we're actually, part of our peace talks is we're going to pause their missile program for 5 years and reopen the strait. And then shortly after that is when he says we're going to bomb the piss out of your energy infrastructure if you don't open the strait. Again, I'm lost. I'm like,
I got whiplash.
This is like a bad game of ping pong here. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, which is it? Are we winning or are we losing? Do we not use the Strait of Hormuz, or are we going to bomb them if they don't open it? Like, I'm like lost.
And what missile program? Iran's missile program?
Their ballistic missile program, which they do have a ballistic missile program. It's how they're like bombing ships in the strait. So they do have a ballistic missile program, but again, that's not like a weapon of mass destruction. What other countries have ballistic missiles? Pretty much everybody. So what, are we going to bomb everybody for having ballistic missiles? Are we going to get bombed for having nukes and ballistic missiles? I mean, we have hypersonics. So does China. Are we going to bomb China next because they have hypersonics? And say, oh, well, their pursuit of weapons of mass destruction in China, we've got to destroy them.
Don't give them any ideas.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. All right. The next one is a video. Go ahead and just side by side that for me real quick. Yeah, that. Okay. So this is, I can't remember I think this might have been yesterday. And Trump talking about the progress with these talks. Go ahead and play it.
They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal too. We're going to get together today by probably phone because it's very hard to find a country. It's very hard for them to get out, I guess. But we'll at some point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Okay. So again, and I see in the chat, I'm looking at it. It's really hard to like do this kind of a show and read the chat because first of all, you guys like put a lot in there, which I love. But at the same time, it's like really hard to kind of separate. But listen, I'm not a Trump hater. I'm not trying to be a Trump hater. I voted for the guy. I just want to get what I voted for. Like the last, I mean, listen, Joe Biden proved that you can never vote for a Democrat and expect anything good to happen. Like, we already know that, guys. Like, this isn't about Democrat versus Republican in terms of like what I'm saying here. Obviously, I would never vote for a Democrat. I think they're actually retarded. Like, here's the thing. I don't think the leadership is retarded. I think they're smart, but they're evil. I think they're actually intelligent and they know what they're doing, but their base is so retarded. But here's the thing is we can't be retarded either just because it's our guy that's in office. Like, whether it was George Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or Trump again, okay, if I don't agree with it, I'm going to say that I don't agree with it. If it was Biden in office and we went to war with Iran, I would be saying the same things. If Biden did the exact same things that Trump is doing, I would be saying the exact same things. Okay? He didn't go to war with Iran, but Trump did. So I'm going to call Trump on this. And that's the topic that we're talking about. Friday, I did my pro-Trump show. It was hard to talk about because it was like not as important, not as like breaking news and stuff, but it was still good stuff. Okay, there's good stuff that's going on too. But we're talking about Iran. It's not good stuff. So I'm going to talk about this.
That goes back to having principles. Like, if we didn't have principles that we believed in and we just latched on to like the personality of Donald J. Trump, then, you know, it would be easier just to go along with the bandwagon. And just be like,
100%.
Oh, Trump did it. That means it's good. Let's throw our support behind it.
Yeah,
it's
like, it's 4D chess.
Wouldn't that be great? But like,
it's 4D chess, Joe. Just trust the plan.
Yeah, I'm
Just
a plan truster.
Yeah. Don't trust any plan. There is no plan. Okay, life is chaotic, and again, if you don't have principles that are based on the Bible, and you just go along with your party, I'm not pro-party. I'm not pro-Republican Party. I'm not pro-GOP, okay? Like 95% of the Republican Party are a bunch of Democrats. The Republicans, and Tom has said this before many times, the Republicans are literally there just to make you think that you have an illusion of choice. It's to make you think that there is opposition to the Democrats. The Democrats are there to push our country into a leftist communist country, and the Republicans that are there are really just there to make it look like we can fight back against it. But they're all Democrats. They're all liberals. If you had I'm talking full-blown America First candidate, you'd get like 5% of the GOP actually voting for that person. They don't believe in America First. They don't believe in actual conservative, constitutional republic like ideology. They don't believe it. Everybody there is getting money either from AIPAC or the military-industrial complex, or both. And in a lot of cases, they're one and the same. Okay, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help your kids. That doesn't, make our roads better and our infrastructure better. Again, look at Democrats in California. We don't have high-speed rail there. You look at other countries. You look at Japan. I love, I want to go to Japan just because I think it's a really cool country. They have all this cool technology. We should easily have that. Listen, guys, look at Japan after we nuked them twice. And then look at us when we nuked them. Look at them when we nuked them. Okay, we were like the shining city on a hill, and they were literally rubble. Compare it now, they're like way cooler and way better technology, high-speed rail systems, and we're literally driving around in like old Buicks and stuff, like thinking that we're like king of the crop Randy Savage. Like, we ain't going nowhere. Like, they got high-speed rail. We don't. We got freaking Gavin Newsom, in California, billions of dollars later. There's no high-speed rail. Okay, that's our country.
Yeah, but Japan doesn't have the privilege of being involved in a bunch of Middle Eastern wars, though. Like, that ain't that cool?
Yeah, it's weird because that's a good point. Here's the thing: is if we didn't go to war with Iraq, if we didn't go to war with Afghanistan, if we didn't go to war with Iran, now, how much of our $39 trillion in debt would be gone?
Yeah, good point.
I'd have to grok that because it's definitely in the tens of trillions for sure. So maybe let's just go super conservative here. Maybe we would be $29 trillion in debt. And really, with that, part of that is right before 9/11, the attacks on the Pentagon, for example, they discovered that there was like $16 trillion missing. Okay, so you could subtract 16 trillion off of that too, because that was probably from like the Gulf Wars or something else, or just funneling money to the military industrial complex. So again, okay, maybe then, what are we, like $20 trillion in debt? $15 trillion in debt? It would be much better at least. I mean, it's still egregious. It's disgusting, but we'd still be better. But all these countries that don't have to go to endless wars and stuff like that and be the policemen of the world, they get to have all this cool technology, and we're stuck again with like, what's the rail line that Joe Biden always used to ride in Pennsylvania?
Oh, I don't know.
Amtrak. Now, yeah, ours is Amtrak. Wow. Amtrak is like a basic train from like the 1980s.
It's ancient.
That's like,
it's like a museum piece.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, what are we, like the Soviet Union with our trains from the 50s? What are we, Cuba, driving around in like 57 Bel Air that we have to keep like fixing because it's the only kind of car that we can afford? It's so stupid. And again, people don't realize, like, you keep going to wars like this and doing this kind of crap and being involved in everybody's stuff all around the world, you're spreading yourself thin. Good luck if anybody does try to actually attack us, because all of our crap is overseas. All of our ships and carriers and battleships and all that, they're all busy. They're not protecting us. Again, another thing that Tom has talked about on the show multiple times is you have nuclear Russian submarines off the coast of Florida. Okay, well, where's our stuff? Our stuff is in the Strait of Hormuz. Our stuff is also during the Biden administration, during the Biden regime, going by Taiwan, because the possibility of China attacking Taiwan was kind of almost imminent for a while. Okay, again, we're not protecting our country. We're getting involved in everybody else's. But good news, with the peace talks happening that may or may not be happening, with those so-called peace talks happening, the Israeli Air Force has begun a new wave of strikes targeting infrastructure sites across the Iranian capital of Tehran. So whether there's peace talks or not, Israel's going to attack Iran. Oh, here you go. This also came out right before the show. This is from Benjamin Netanyahu. It was a video. It just came out. It came out a couple hours before the show started, but I didn't have time because I just saw it right before the show started. But breaking, Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will continue attacking Iran despite President Trump's plan to negotiate peace agreements. There is literally no reason for the United States to be involved in this nonsense anymore. Totally agree with you. Mm-hmm. Again, if we're supposed to be, they're supposed to be our greatest allies, and we're like, hey, let's pause for a second. Again, let's assume Donald Trump is telling the truth with that, and there were talks. And Iran is just trying to like make themselves look stronger by not being the ones that actually folded. Let's say there were talks. Okay, well, what good is it if Israel's going to keep attacking them? What's the point?
That's like some skinny guy with like a really buff friend, and the skinny guy just keeps antagonizing people, and, like into a fight because his buff friend is there dragging him into a fight. Yeah, that's like what it feels like.
Exactly. You got like Tom's son, Tommy, is a fighter, right? Okay, if I'm gonna get in a fight, like I'm not gonna last long. I don't even know if I might just get knocked out like immediately. I'm not like a fighter. I'm a lover. I like to eat food. You know, I like to chill. I don't work out in the gym. So if I was to get in a fight with somebody, it might last like 2 seconds. You know, I don't know. But if I have Tommy behind me,
you can be bold.
Oh, I can say whatever I want to anybody I want. I can start whatever crap with anybody. I can literally I'm going to pick on somebody like twice my size. And Tommy will be there to like knock the guy out or choke him out. Like one of the two. It's going to happen. Okay, that's us with Israel. Israel's like the little Poindexter with like their taped up glasses. Like, excuse me, sir. And then they start picking fights and we've got to be back behind them going like, all right, well, now that Iran has, struck Israel, now we have to strike Iran.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's hard to not see that as like sabotage, like Israel sabotaging the U.S. peace, if the peace talks were indeed even happening.
Correct.
Which we don't know that.
Well,
for sure.
And let's assume that they were.
Okay, we'll give the benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt to Trump because everybody's saying that I'm a Trump hater. Then let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's being honest. Then how is that not sabotage? It's the exact same thing that happened with Israel and Gaza. Trump came out and literally said they've been fighting for this long and nobody knows what the F they're doing. He was pissed because right as he got a ceasefire with Gaza, Israel struck Gaza again. I'm like, why are we involved in this madness? Why are we here? Like, what are we doing? It's insane. It's insane. Okay, with that being said, with the Israel saying that, oh yeah, we're going to launch our new wave of strikes, go ahead and play these next two videos back to back. All right. Well, peace talks are in session. Isn't that great? Doesn't it feel like peace when you see those videos? Aren't you like, man, I'm glad we're winning? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Again, if the peace talks actually started, that's not going to help. That first video, they attacked a bridge that apparently is like important. I don't know where it goes to, and I don't care enough to look it up. But attacking important infrastructure after we're trying to like have peace talks, yeah, that's not going to blow up in our face. All right, no pun intended. All right, put the next one up. Okay, so this is Trump's response. So like he puts out right before he did the whole if Iran doesn't fully open the strait, he says, the United States has blown Iran off the map, and yet their lightweight analyst David Sanger says that I haven't met my own goals. Yes, I have, and weeks ahead of schedule. Their leadership is gone. Their Navy and Air Force are dead. They have absolutely no defense, and they want to make a deal. Then right after that is when he says if they don't open the strait within 48 hours, we're gonna destroy their energy infrastructure. All right, go to the next one. This is what I was talking about with the COVID thing. I'm not even a huge Cernovich fan. Like, he is very a lot of times pro-Israel, you know, all this kind of stuff, which I'm not. Like I said on Thursday, I am just as much against Israel as I am against Iran. I don't like either one of them. I think they both are evil. Neither of them believe in Jesus. So both of their, I mean, obviously you have Christians in Iran, by the way. It's not popular, but it's not popular to be a Christian in Israel either. But most of their population in Iran are Muslims. Most of the population in Israel are Jews. Okay, they're both going to die and go to the same hell if they don't repent of their sin and claim the blood of Jesus and make him their Lord. So why would I back one over the other? I have, and I didn't want to go into it because it gets somewhat wonky, especially if you're just you watch the show because you're conservative or whatever you want to call yourself. I don't even know what to call. I guess I just call myself America First at this point because I'm not MAGA. MAGA kind of like failed. I wanted to be. I first was MAGA like when it first started, and I was like, man, finally we get like a president who actually gives a crap about what the people want. It's like a nationalist populist movement. Great. But it kind of took a turn for the worst, so now I'm just like, well, kind of abandoned that ship. That kind of sucks. Again, I didn't abandon Trump. He abandoned me. He called people like me fake MAGA because we went against his first Iran strike because we said that we wanted no new wars, which he said that he wanted, but apparently that's changed. He didn't like that we were still talking about the Epstein files, even though he campaigned on the Epstein files. So apparently I'm not MAGA anymore because I got kicked out of the party. But this is starting to feel like the COVID era again, except MAGA is the COVID side, yelling at anyone who dissents. Again, you can have a difference of opinion, but if you're going to like start calling people like fake MAGA and all this stuff because we don't agree, okay, well, again, you're no different than the people that were calling me grandma killer. Okay, when the COVID stuff first happened, and again, Trump, it was under Trump. It was under Trump, and it was under, he put Fauci in charge. He put Pence in charge. Okay, that was him. So who do you blame? Oh, well, you can't blame him because he didn't know. Okay, he's the president. He should know. We blame Biden when stuff goes bad. We blamed Obama. Like, why can't we? Why? Again, this is like stretch your brain a little bit. Why can't we just have a set of principles, and anytime somebody doesn't follow it, we like call it out? But again, if it's our guy, well, listen, what, would you rather have Kamala in the White House? No, but why is that my options? Why is my choice Donald Trump going against his campaign promises or Kamala? What if I could vote for somebody who actually does what they said that they're going to do? Trump's first term, for the most part, other than the biggest issue, unfortunately, was COVID. So he screwed up the biggest thing. But other than that, it was actually pretty great. I was excited. I was still blackpilled, by the way, but I was excited for Trump 2024. Again, we were here for like 8 hours doing an election night podcast. Okay, you know how long I was sitting there and I had to pee, but I was too excited to get up and go? Like 8 hours to be like rooting for your guy, and then this is what we get? Again, I'm like, I don't know. It gets so tiring. It gets so tiring. It's hard to be like, pro-Republican, pro-MAGA, pro-conservative, whatever, when you're voting for people who then go against what you voted for. So why not vote for a Democrat? Like, again, I'm not saying to vote for a Democrat because, again, I never would. But what's the difference, though? I mean, if you're going to get the same output, if both parties are going to go to war with Iran, or both parties gas is going to rise, or both parties, jobs are going to tank, or whatever, fill in the blank. If both parties do that, then why wouldn't you vote for the Democrat? Why would you vote for the Republican? There's no difference. Or just this, why not just not vote? Again, there's no difference.
The house always wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to Vegas and thinking that you're going to walk out with millions of dollars. Okay. Pretty much nobody walks out with millions of dollars. Like, why do you think they have millions to give away? It's because of suckers like you and I who went there and like gambled. Okay. Go to this next one. This is another rundown. And if you could just, make that big on my screen. Perfect. Of in one day, I think this was today. Yeah, it was today. 7:04 in the morning, President Trump said the U.S. and Iran have had productive discussions to end the war in Iran. By 7:10, so 6 minutes later, the S&P 500 surged to 240 points up, adding $2 trillion in market cap. Huge. You can see it down there in the picture, the green. 27 minutes later, Iran completely denied Trump's claims and said there's been no contact with the U.S. Okay? 8 a.m., the S&P falls 120 points, losing $1 trillion. $3 trillion swing in 56 minutes is absolute insanity. So again, I have to question, is it true that we're winning, Iran has been obliterated, all of their stuff is gone, or is that just to try to keep the economy afloat? Because if you don't say phrases like that, because again, you got to remember, when the president talks, it like moves the needle on stuff, okay? So if the president says like, oh yeah, we're taking Greenland and we're going to go take Greenland, okay, the European Union is like, oh, Denmark is like crapping their pants because he just said something, right? All he has to do is say something and the world is like, oh, the president just said this. It's the same thing with the stock market. If the president says that the war is over, the stock market's like, yay, we can go back to normal life and we don't have to like wonder if the economy is going to crash. So we're going to start investing in things. And then Iran comes out and says, actually, there's no discussions. And half of that upward trajectory gets cut out. So we went up $2 trillion and then down $1 trillion in 56 minutes. Okay, that's not good. That's you're kind of manipulating the markets.
Yeah, it's not good for you because you didn't sell at the right time.
Correct. Well, and that's the thing. See, that's true, because if I was in with the right people, then I would have known that he was going to make a statement, and
right
I would
when
have,
the market's open.
Yeah, exactly. And I would have bought before he makes a statement, then prices shoot up. So I bought low, prices shoot up, I sell there, and then so that nobody else can jump on that train, Iran comes out and says, actually, no, that's not true, and then they plummet. But I made my money. So, all good. I'm glad you guys are invested in the stock market heavily, and you know when to come in and go out because, you gotta ride these waves. Maybe when something like that comes out and there's information that makes it look like we're not winning the war, maybe that's when you buy stock, I guess, because then Trump, maybe like a day or two later, will say that we are winning. You'll see it go up, then sell. Sell right after he says that we're winning and Iran is destroyed because it's going to probably go down after that.
Yeah. Like we sound jaded tonight talking about
all
the negative things about Trump, but it's not that, just to clarify to the chat, it's not that we're rooting against Trump or against America. We want our country to succeed, our country.
Yeah.
And we just don't see this as success. That's all. But like I'm not wishing the worst outcome for Trump.
And you're Canadian.
Yeah. Well, don't say that. Don't say it like that.
Hey, listen, there's nowhere else for Joe to go. America has to succeed.
I'm a refugee.
He is a refugee from Canada. Like, so what is he going to go back to? Canada?
Yeah, this was the last ship I could have jumped to.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Mark Carney to look forward to if America fails. No, we don't want America to fail. That would be stupid. That's like you're rooting against yourself. That's retarded.
And we don't want anyone from any country to die. Like,
no,
I'm not
that's
some type of like hippie tree hugger, but it's like, okay, we could choose war or not war. Like,
yeah, and again, that was the great thing about Trump, especially in his first term, because he ran on no new wars in his first term, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, a conservative Republican that's not a war hawk? That's like unheard of." Because the last few Republicans, it's been just war, and it's like, okay, well, not to burst your bubble, but the Democrats are war hawks too. Because Obama was like mass drone striking Libya to like dust and nobody said anything.
Nobel Peace Prize winner.
He did. Yeah, exactly. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'm like, okay, Donald Trump actually has like helped with the Abraham Accords and other peace treaties and stuff like that. Okay, I'm telling you right now, even though I'm against this war and I'm against the stupidity of what he's doing right now, Donald Trump should have won a Nobel Peace Prize for that. Should Barack Obama have won a Nobel Peace Prize? Why? Why did he win that? Because he was the first black president? Because he was the first gay president? I guess we give him a Peace Prize now because he's married to Mike Obama. And
Aaron is not suicidal, and his car brakes work just fine.
That's correct. It's a new car. The brakes are fantastic. All the airbags work great. I always wear my seatbelt, and I'm not suicidal. And yeah. But yeah, no. But again, you're looking at like who are the people that are for all these wars, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. It's like all these congressmen and women who get money from AIPAC, and a lot of them are dual citizens with Israel. I'm like, okay, first of all, you shouldn't even serve in Congress if you have dual citizenship. Sorry, you're out immediately. So Randy, fine, I'm talking to you. Like there are so many though. There are so many. I'm like, you're a traitor. Why would you put the interests of America over Israel? You're not going to. You claim that. In a lot of cases, people will ask them, well, who would you side with? If it was a war, America versus Israel. A lot of them say Israel. Okay, then go to Israel. Go serve in there. I can't remember what it's called. Knet or Kaput or I don't know. So whatever. The Knesset or whatever. It's like their Congress. Go serve over there. Go like wear your yarmulkes and serve over in Israel. Don't serve here. If you're going to pick Israel over America, then you're not an American. Sorry. I pick America every single time. So what do I want America to lose this war with Iran? No. We've started it now. You literally took a baseball bat to a beehive. Okay, you better like win against the bees then. You better get out your wasp spray and start killing them all. Like, I don't want us to get attacked. This is all stupid. It's all stupid to me. All right, next thing, and we've got a couple more, and then I'll call it because it's already 10:03. This I just thought was it's funny. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Pete Hegseth talking about Iran. Play it for me.
Iran is an energy-rich country, could be, should be. Instead, like so many other places driven by a radical ideology, they've spent that money instead of investing in their people. That's why you had millions of Iranians protesting, because they felt like their quality of life didn't match what it could be or should be. And what was the Iranian state? There's a reason we call Iran the #1 state sponsor of terrorism, because they took the money they make and they invest it in tunnels, and they invested in missiles, and they invested in launchers and UAVs, and we are destroying and degrading that in historic proportions.
It's the same stuff that was said about Gaza, is that they had all these tunnels and they were using hospitals to shield themselves, which, again, if true, you're breaking international law. But to thugs, they're not going to follow international law anyway. So it's like saying to somebody who shoots up I don't know, a school campus, well, it's a gun-free zone. He's killing people. He doesn't give a crap if it's a gun-free zone. But the funny part of that, it was him saying, oh, yeah, well, they're taking all their money and they're spending it on military stuff and they're not looking after their citizens. Okay, Pete, well, same here. We're at war with Iran. Let's look at the cost of home ownership. This, by the way, is why a lot of people that are my age and younger are blackpilling, is because they have no wind in their sails. Okay, they can't afford a home. There's an addition to that, is like everybody's on TikTok and social media, so they don't know how to talk to each other. So they're not getting like boyfriends or girlfriends. They like are single young men with no prospects, no good jobs, and no chance of home ownership. Okay, well, 1990, 3 years before I was born, I know, shocking. Median home price, $96,097. I'll just say $97,000. Now, $418,000. Median household income, $31,000. That's like a third of the home price, right? Median household income now, $85,000. Price to income ratio, 3.1 times. Now it's 4.9 times. Typical down payment, this is crazy, $8,200. Now it's $41,800, $42,000 essentially. Years to save for that down payment in 1990, 3.2 years. Now it's 9.7 years to save for a freaking down payment on a 30-year mortgage.
Start saving at 10 years old.
Yeah, and by
When you're
20,
10.
you can,
you should be good.
Yeah, well, again, look at the last part. Age at first home purchase, 30 in 1990. Now it's 40.
Who has that kind of money just sitting around? $41,000 for a down payment.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. But it's okay because, Iran is the one who's spending all their money on war and, tunnels and all this stuff because they don't care about their people. But we care about our people. Even though we want to spend another $200 billion on this conflict, and we're $39 trillion in debt, and the housing market is terrible, and nobody can buy a home. Nobody can afford a home.
My first year as a cop was almost that down payment, $41,000.
Yeah, $41,000. Yeah, it would take you
salary.
An entire year of not spending any money,
Nothing,
to have made that down payment.
Live with your mom.
Yeah, but then you got like student loans,
Yep.
and the car payments or groceries,
Yeah.
like rent payments. Like it's you can
impossible.
never get ahead.
Yeah, it's literally
Ever.
impossible. But again, they're the bad guys because they spend all their money on war and all that kind of stuff. Go to this next one. This will be the last one that we do before my very last one, which is just for entertainment. Nick Fuentes tweet, the GOP told us that a $17 billion border wall was too expensive and that mass deportations were too unpopular. But $200 billion for a regime change war in Iran that has 27% approval is absolutely necessary because Israel said so. Israel first means America last. Again, you can dog me if you want about me talking about Israel, but this is the truth, guys. There's no reason why we're in this war except to help our greatest ally. So we're gonna like help Israel at the detriment of the American public. We're gonna say that $17 billion is too much money to spend on a border wall that will permanently fix the southern border issue. Again, Trump did a fantastic job closing down the southern border. But how long does that last if the wall is not built? You already saw it when Joe Biden took office. Joe Biden took all of the pieces of border wall, massive steel-framed wall pieces that we already paid for. It was already bought. Your and my tax money already paid for it. It was sitting on the job site. It's like when you pull up to a job site and you see that there's like trusses and plywood and drywall already there so that when the workers get there, they can put the house together. Okay, the wall was already freaking paid for, and it was sitting on the grounds ready to put up. What did Joe Biden do? He sold them all off at like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
It was like 20 cents compared to $1. Okay, so how is that any different for, let's say, God forbid, but at the same time, again, what's the difference? But God forbid, Gavin Newsom wins in 2028. What if he wins? You think the border is going to be secure then? We didn't build the border wall. All it would have taken was $17 billion, but that's too expensive and too unpopular. Mass deportations, we're going to stop and we're not going to talk about that anymore until after the midterms because that's too unpopular. It's not unpopular for your freaking base, man. It's the people who actually voted for you. They're the people who are going to come out and continue voting for pro-Donald Trump MAGA people if you're doing mass deportations. But no. We have to stop talking about that because that's very unpopular because Minnesota. Okay, like Thomas said before, double down, baby. You got people rising up and trying to riot when you've got ICE in there deporting pedophiles and murderers and all this stuff. Okay, they have their little riot because you got 20 members of ICE in there. Put 40 in there. They have a problem with 200. Make it 400. Double down, baby. But no, what we did is we folded again. We folded again and again. Your taxpayer dollars, $39 trillion in debt. What's $17 billion for a border wall that'll actually accomplish something? No, we'd rather spend $200 billion on something like a war that's not going to accomplish anything. All right, that's it for the Iran war. I can't. I actually have more. Britain is getting involved now, and there was a Lindsey Graham video that literally would make me like punch this microphone, so I can't do it. But I'm going to just end on good news. Go ahead and put that up. Breaking. Idaho has authorized death by firing squad for convicted pedophiles.
Nice.
Isn't that great? See, that's good news.
It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win. We got a win tonight. We're ending on a win. Go Idaho. That makes me want to move to Idaho. I wonder if Florida shoots pedophiles. I don't think we do. I don't think we do firing squads.
We should.
It's
cheaper.
It is
Yeah,
cheaper.
it's
You don't have
way
to pay for
cheaper.
the chemicals and the long drawn out. Just go face the wall.
Yeah.
Go face the wall. We've got two guys. One of them has a bullet in their gun, and the other guy has a blank, and they don't know who killed him. But
Right after conviction too.
yeah,
Just send
exactly.
them straight in there.
100%. No, because they have to wait until their appeals are done. Because you could have an innocent person that was falsely accused, whatever. Get your appeals out of the way. I think you get 2.
Which take 10 years. With those.
Yeah, they shouldn't take that long.
No.
Let's say the justice system was actually swift, like our Constitution says they should be. Swift appeal system. Once their appeals are out, line them up against the wall and just start gone. And then you don't have that problem anymore. People will stop being pedophiles. So, anyways, I wanted to end on a win. Do we have any rants? I don't know if we do.
We have 2 rants.
Oh, we have 2. Okay.
Yeah, let me get it ready here.
Let's see what we got.
Okay, here we go.
Skunk71 donated $5. Appreciate you, Aaron and team, for keeping TLP train on tracks. Prayers for Tom to be fully restored.
Thank you, Skunk71. Yeah, we prayed that yesterday morning at church. Again, it's not like he's like disabled or something. It just, you can't really, when you're having like a physical like pain, it's hard to sit in a podcast chair like this and scream at the microphone for like 90 minutes. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Here's the thing is we want the show to go on, baby. Like it's something that people have grown accustomed to. It's part of their routine, all that kind of stuff. So we don't want you guys to miss out on a show. And again, some of you like my takes, some of you hate my takes. I'm sorry. We're not all going to agree 100% of the time. Tom said this before. He and I don't agree 100% of the time. But the thing is, though, is that you can find commonality. That doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. Again, I'm America first. If you're America first, but you want this war to happen, then we disagree on that. But we do agree on America first. So that's the reason why I'm sitting here is trying to keep everything rolling. We got his wife Hope preaching on Sundays. She did a great job. So trying to just keep the train going here. All right, hit the next one.
We got one more also after this.
Awesome.
Joel's 21 Hours donated $10. Thank you, Aaron and TLP team. Praying healing over Pastor Tom.
Yeah, amen. Thank you, Jules.
Amen.
21 hours. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody again who's watching, everybody who gave in the rants, everybody in the chat. Again, I can't really. It's so hard. at some point, at some time, I've kind of floated this idea to Tom. I don't know if he would want to do this. I would maybe do this, but do a AMA. It's called Ask Me Anything, and basically the whole show is just talking to you guys in the chat. I think that would kind of be fun, but it's kind of hard to do it while the show is going. But again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Jules. 21 hours, and then this is the last one.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hugo_Stiglitz donated $5. If you weren't doing worship team, podcast, working at Foundation, what do you think you would probably do for a living?
Thank you, Hugo Stiglitz, for that. Yeah. Well, I mean, before I started working here, I have always worked in IT, whether it be web design, whether it be system administration. I've done kind of all of it. The job before here, I actually worked as I ran a tech department for a property management company. I ran all of our offices, and I was doing server work. It was like a mixture of everything. So it actually kind of prepared me to be able to run the infrastructure here, especially now that we've got a bigger building and a lot more here. But yeah, no, I'm a tech guy. So pretty much anything tech. I will say this though is like I used to do construction. My first job in high school was I worked at a Chick-fil-A, and that was great because you got a free lunch. You got a free dessert. You got like for every 4-hour shift you did, you got a free meal. So I like that because I like spicy chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. But after that, I actually did construction. And I think that was, other than this job, I think that was actually, I had the most fun doing that because I did demo.
Yeah, that's down your alley.
Demo is amazing because here's the thing. It's like being in the gym because I already said I don't work out in the gym. I really need to. But I don't work out in the gym. You didn't have to go to the gym because you're swinging sledgehammers like all day and knocking walls down, and you get like aggression and anger out. You could be like black-pilled on the job site, and everybody just thinks you're just, doing demo, and you're just like, I hate the Iran war, and nobody knows, And you'd go home, and here's the thing that I love is you'd go home, and physically you'd be like exhausted, but mentally you'd be like happy. You'd be on like cloud 9. Mm-hmm. It was like adrenaline and dopamine rush to the brain. It's like, man, good day, got a lot of work done. With tech stuff, it's the opposite. Physically, you're fine because you're not active. But actually, even that, physically, you're not as good because you're sitting in a chair all day for like 8 hours looking at a computer screen, which kind of sucks. But mentally, you're just so exhausted. And it's like, man, you go home at the end of the day and you're like, I don't even want to hang out with anybody. I don't want to do anything. I just want to go to sleep. So I don't know. Historically, it's always been tech work, but I don't know. Maybe I'd switch it up. Maybe
I think your dream job is demolitions. Maybe with heavy machinery,
Well, hey, listen, and that pays well because the demo that I did before was like $10 an hour. It was terrible.
That was back when $10 meant something. Though.
Well, kind of. It would be more along the lines of like $15 meant something, and I got 10. So it was still not great. But yeah, no, if I could do like demo with heavy machinery, that would be right up my alley. But anyways, that's it, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. We got 346, I think, still in the chat. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm hopeful that Tom is back tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just down to do whatever is needed, whether he's here or I'm here. We will be back on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Love you guys. God bless you.
This podcast is all about. We talk about a lot of political things, but underneath all of that is the Bible. I am unapologetically 100% in favor of it is the Bible. Jesus is the Word. There is no delineation. If the Bible says it, that's what Jesus is, and that's what Jesus believes. That's what this podcast is actually about, is to actually alert people to what is coming and what is our responsibility in the midst of it.